Are we ready to get started? Oh, ready and excited. A little bit louder, please.
It was great in the Convene because it's pretty much relaxed and a lot of people have shared a number of resources and tools which made us realize that there's more people working in the field.
We all need to do a better job of talking to each other. There are lots of people who've been doing so much work and learning so many things, and I think one big takeaway is that, we need to kind of build on that momentum now and talk to each other in new ways, perhaps.
The justice pipeline that Witness is now working on, which is that kind of documentation, preservation, analysis, presentation, and justice and accountability. It's important to be aware of each of this component, because in the end of the day, the way you do one thing will influence how it can play out in the end of the day with at any other stages.
Bringing in the community of stakeholders, and I like your word of stakeholders because we were also talking about this yesterday in another group, which is who do you want to bring to the table and who should be the one who decides who comes to the table, and that's the community that's most impacted.
Involving the community is one very key thing when we want to have a solution that can be of great significance to the entire humanitarian initiatives.
The way that Global North NGOs undertake particularly legal advocacy can often be quite extractive and can focus on the community purely as the source of the information, and then there can be a kind of handing over of the information where legal NGOs then take on the roles themselves. And what we really need to see is more of an iterative process, which is the Global North NGOs in dialogue with the communities, like a bilateral learning from each other and less of a linear perspective.
It feels so good to learn a lot of different approaches that people use in documentation, in filming, in verification, and in gathering evidence for justice all across the world. I've made some very significant connections with the Digital Africa Lab, with folks from Canada, from Nepal, and a few other countries. So some conversations have already started, and I look forward to building on that and maybe getting some very significant work done.
I think the simplest word is collaboration. There's a lot of work going on silo. I thought this convening made it collaborative and to get to know each other and their tools they're using, methods they're using. So collaboration would be the thing that moving forward that I would like to see changed.
I think one thing I'd like to see changed in my area of practice would be maybe the language we use. I think I would need to, it's good to kind of reflect on kind of the ability for us all to develop maybe a shared language or kind of shared understandings in order to do better and document better and advocate better, but with a more kind of common understanding about what we want to do.
I am a journalist based in the Global South. Meeting someone like Nick, who does much of his reporting based on justice and accountability in the Global North, it showed me different perspectives on how I can employ some of the things they do back in Global South, because I cover so much conflicts in Sudan, for instance, Ethiopia, Kenya, and DRC. So some of the initiatives that they do, we transfer them to me by teaching me and showing me some of the techniques they use in their work. So I have made very incredible connections, and I'm very thankful for this convening.
I just was really inspired by the participants, and I'm extremely grateful to Witness for creating this space, because at GLAN these are kind of conversations that we've been trying to have internally and trying to think about internally, but in the space that we operate we're all working under capacity and we're under resourced, and it's really important to have this protected space provided by Witness in order that we can think proactively and collaboratively around these issues, even in the context where many of us are struggling for space to have these kinds of conversations.